Scott here reporting for Tweet10, and here we have the Toshiba NB550D. This is a 10.1-inch netbook running the AMD Fusion C50 CPU. So this is actually the first netbook of its kind to come onto the market running an AMD processor. So this is actually a very unique netbook design. You can see here it's got the Harman Kardon speakers here in the front. So this actually has sound quality unlike any other netbook on the market right now. I'm a big fan of what's going on here because of the rubberized finish. You can kind of see it's got this textured dimple, kind of soft, rugged finish here on the cover. If we look around the sides of this netbook, you see on this side we have two USB 2.0s, nothing else on the side. Down around the front, you'll see there's some status LEDs right here. And here we've got the SD card reader. It's not spring-loaded, in case you were wondering. Around here on the other side is where it gets pretty interesting. Here we have the headphone jacks. Now this has microphone in and USB. Now these are both sleep to charge or sleep to play, which is very nice. Here we've got a an HDMI. There's your fan, Ethernet, PSU, and Kensington lock. On the back, you'll see it's really easy to access all the bits and bobs that you'd want to upgrade your hard drive or your RAM. This comes with 1 gig of DDR3 RAM, upgradable to 4 if you upgraded the operating system to 64-bit. So this can actually run 4 gigs of RAM. Now, I'm not going to bother to take out the battery, but I will let you know that it's 48 watt hours, and I have read on the online that you can get up to 8 cell is standard in a lot of places. Now, I did just mention sleep to charge, so I'm going to take my iPod player. This is in standby. I'm going to plug this in. Make sure it's the right one.
Some people call me the space cowboy.
So you can hear the speaker quality here.
Some call me the gangster of love.
Now that obviously fills the room. This is far superior to any other kind of any other netbook that I've ever had before. Now this has a quick little, just super fast. Now if I take the Acer Happy and I play something on here, yeah, that's what Timmy sounds like, just in case you were wondering. So obviously this won't turn off. There we go. So obviously the obviously the Toshiba NB550D is really a multimedia-based machine. You're going to be looking to use something like this if you want to do a lot of HD playback, if you want to do a lot of gaming. We can play Crysis, which is what everyone's really looking at when they want to pick up something like this. You're not going to be buying a machine like this if you just want to check some emails or do some web surfing. You're going to be picking up a device like this if you wanted to do some gaming while you're on the go, if you wanted to make sure that you had HD playback, if you really, it's just about the graphics. It's about the graphics and it's about the speakers. If you really want to use this as a portable speaker, because you can, because it has the sleep to charge and the sleep to play, and that's the only reason you're buying it, I suggest you just buy some cheap external speakers, because this is running you about $450, which is pretty pricey for a netbook, considering a lot of netbooks are ranging around the $300 mark, like the Happy. So if you just want playback of HD video and gaming, then you should really, really pick up one of these. If you don't need it, I'd go with a cheaper version. So while the game's loading, why don't we take a quick look at the keyboard, because if you're going to be gaming, you're going to need a really decent keyboard on here. Now, this is not quite as good as, say, a Chiclet Island style keyboard that you'd usually find, but it does have a decent setup here where they've actually recessed it down, so you still have the full arrow keys, page up and down. I do like to see full-size shift keys and full-size enter keys, which I'm not seeing on this model. If you want to see a full-size shift key, here's one on the other side here. But I have to say that this keyboard is great. I'm not mistyping. The feedback, the tactile feedback is really great. Now the trackpad is something that I would absolutely love. It kind of has this textured rough finish. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but I initially thought, ooh, kind of like feels a bit rough and sexy, but it actually hasn't grown old at all. I thought maybe I might grow tired of it, but no, not in the least. Now these mouse buttons are some of the top in the industry. They have great responsiveness. They really kind of bounce back nicely. Nice and firm, not sticky, two separate mouse buttons, which I like to see. And they're not mushy, which you often get with netbooks. Either they click too hard, or they just mush down and you can't really tell that you've pressed them. So I'm actually going to flip to some Crisis footage that I've already played. I don't like to feel pressure, and I'm not very good at gaming, so forgive me for my crappy gameplay right now.
Hit the water pretty hard. Some of your suit functions are offline. Let me run a quick diagnostic. The video feed is breaking up. I'm going to try to recalibrate. All right, your suit checks out. You're back online. Still no word from Aztec. Nomad, rendezvous with Jester and head to Aztec's location. Check your objectives display. Make sure your silencer's attached. Careful, Nomad. Enemy contact over here.
So you can see this is actually a really solid choice if you wanted to do multimedia or if you wanted to do some gaming. It's a little bit bigger than a usual netbook because, frankly, it needs the room for the speakers down here at the bottom. So you can see it actually has a fairly big bezel here around the top. So it actually is, I'd say it's about half an inch deeper than your average netbook. So my verdict, would I buy it? I obviously have. I actually purchased this one outright because I really wanted to know what was going on with AMD's C50 Fusion APU with the gaming option, and it's an incredibly solid choice. The rubberized finish makes it feel kind of expensive, which you kind of want if you're going to be paying $450 for a netbook. A couple of people have asked me if this power button actually turns it on while the lid's shut, and I was worried about that too. Nothing happens there. It's definitely a solid option. It's not too thick. The battery life could be better. We're seeing 4 hours on a 4,800 milliampere battery. I hear that it's shipping 8-cell standard in Australia, so you're going to be seeing double that. So you're going to be seeing about 8 hours of battery life on this unit, but it's going to be significantly heavier. So this has just been my look at the Toshiba NB550D with the AMD C50 CPU. If multimedia is what you're after and you wanted to say download a crap load of videos onto the 250 gig hard drive, you could use the HDMI to TV out to your big screen TV. So this has been Nicole Scott for Tweaktown taking a look at the AMD C50 CPU inside the Toshiba NB550D.